All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. I'm just going to quickly go here and just send the link over to Telegram, and then we'll go ahead and start looking at market updates. Just give me a second here. Okay. All right, so the links have been sent. Welcome. So yeah, this is a pretty fun move set that we saw on Ethereum this morning. We actually ended up taking a short position right at this level here at around 1685, and I'll go ahead and explain that to you guys in a second as to why we did it. But looking at Ethereum right now, even on the 4-hour time frame, we are in a very crucial spot overall. And the reason I'm saying that is because you can see that we did see a very nice drop on Ethereum, retested the 1612 range, and now it looks like we are going to be retesting 1658 as a resistance level. Now you're seeing this live right now. I didn't enter the position. It's a little too late. I mean, I started the live a little too late, pretty much. But I would ideally be looking for the 9 exponential moving average to be tested. I'm not going to be entering anything just yet. Ideally, I will be waiting until you know, a little bit later, and then kind of going from there. But as of right now, we are looking for a buy opportunity on Ethereum. But I want to go ahead and explain to you guys a short as to why we did it and exactly what happened. So in terms of Ethereum itself, you can see that we did top out at a beautiful range here at 1780. We didn't quite get the retest to 1787, which I was waiting for. Unfortunately, we didn't exactly hit that level, but we did get pretty close to it, and then we saw the reversal. Now, for those of you that have been part of the Telegram channel, I've been watching my videos as well, I mentioned the fact that Ethereum is looking for a scenario A. Scenario A was basically, for those of you that are new, was the ideal range at 1421, then the breakout going all the way up to 1787, and then the drop. So right now, in terms of the drop stage, we are right here. We have the same exact price action opportunity that we're seeing, which is why I mentioned the 1658 level is going to be playing a very important role on Ethereum overall. Assuming we do end up breaking, of course, the level of 1518, then this move set would be our confirmation. I'm just going to go ahead and delete these white lines because this was over on the weekend, so it doesn't confuse you guys. But that's the ideal range that we're looking for on Ethereum for the drop. Now, of course, a lot of people are still looking at the 1787 level as a breakout range because of the fact that we have tested this level 3-4 times. But in my opinion, right now is a very crucial point, and ideally, I don't want to be entering any sort of buy opportunities unless it's a scalp. You guys knew the whole run up on Ethereum, I kept mentioning like, hey, these are great buy opportunities because we were using the exponential moving averages as support. Now we're actually using them as resistance. You can see that we are retesting it once more, looking for that resistance level to be tested. And as a quick scalping opportunity, like, you know, before I started the live session, we were hovering right above the 20 EMA, which would have been a very profitable trade. But again, I didn't want to enter anything without you guys, or I could have just started the live and be like, oh yeah, we're up 20%, right? So that's exactly why I waited. But if we look here on Bitcoin, you guys will notice that today in Telegram, I mentioned that, hey, looking at Bitcoin, the 20 exponential moving average is acting as a magnet, right? You can see that we saw that retest opportunity at 25.2 this morning. Then we shorted Ethereum, but Bitcoin was still lagging behind. We were still hovering at the 24.5 level. Some of you on Twitter messaged me and said, hey, is Bitcoin looking for a good short? And I mentioned, yeah, you can short it all the way down to the 20 EMA, which is what a lot of people did, and they made some insane profits. This is exactly why I always mention to you guys to at least have the 9 and 20 EMA on your charts so you know where exactly to look to take profits or to close those losses, right? Usually if we end up breaking below those exponential moving averages, you don't want to end up holding that loss. But for those of you, of course, that are new to the live stream, if you guys want me to analyze any sort of chart or go over anything, just put it in the chat. I will be keeping an eye on the chat as well. But like I said, this session is we're gonna try to enter a trade, and ideally even on Ethereum, like you guys are seeing this live. I started the session talking about this breakout to the 9 exponential moving average, and you can see that, you know, we can enter it on Ethereum really quickly, just so, because again, like the reason why we'd be entering it is because we're looking for the 9 EMA to be retested as resistance. These levels usually act as magnets. Unfortunately, we're not going to get the entry that we're looking for but we can get pretty close to just that scalping opportunity, right? So I'm going to enter a long position right here. Now, of course, entering a long position on major resistance is a little bit risky, and I have talked about this quite a bit. But ideally, I want to see what happens once we re-enter this range here on Ethereum at 1669. I would be taking my profits at that range, right? I'm not going to be holding that level because I don't want to get caught on the move back to the downside. But this is the level that I would be paying attention to in terms of a scalp. So I'll show you guys exactly how a scalp looks like. So right now you can see that I have entered the position. I'm just using 20x leverage. Like I said, I'm keeping a very close eye on Ethereum. And I'm going to be playing the breakout range to the 9 EMA, exit the trade, and then we're going to watch it. So you guys are seeing this live, right? Look at what's happening to Ethereum right now. Even on the lower time frames, you'll notice that, hey, even at these levels act as magnets, right? And they're very quick, very, very quick trades. You guys see we entered the long on the breakout formation. Right now we're up 5%. I can close it if I want to, but just for learning purposes, I'm going to leave it open. I'm not going to close it until we get to that 20 EMA, which is getting extremely close. But I just want to show you guys an example of why these things work the way I trade. Why do I trade the way I trade? This is exactly why. So we're heading into 1663. I'm up 6%. I'm going to close that trade. You know what? Let's just close it. Quick close. So we're going to close that trade. That was a quick trade. Like I said, and now you're seeing the reversal, right? Take profits are happening. These algo bots kind of push it into the market, and we close our long position. Very quick trades, very profitable trades, very clean entries. Now, the whole time I was talking, I started the live 5 minutes in, and I said, hey, Ethereum's looking like a very nice buy opportunity, right? And I mentioned that all the way down here at 1653. While I was talking, I could have entered at 1653. We could have wrote it all the way up. See, guys, 1664, take profits, hit, exponential moving average 20. Look at the rejection. This is what I meant by scalping opportunities on the 20 EMA. These are very profitable trades. The argument could be, well, why, Pingu, why didn't you short it? Why didn't you short exactly when it hit the 20 EMA? Because again, ideally, when you're hitting a 1 hour or 4 hour time frame, you don't want to get caught in the breakout. What I've learned over time is you want to be trading with the market. So if the market is looking to test, so as an example, I'll give you guys, we shorted Ethereum on this drop to the 20 EMA. I mentioned it in a Telegram, and I was just looking for a great short. Why didn't I counter trade myself, right? Why didn't I enter the short on Ethereum and then enter a buy position? Well, this is the exact reason why. You'll notice that we actually ended up breaking below that level, and then we bounced. Now, once again, we can look on Ethereum on the 4 hour time frame, and we entered a buy opportunity. We entered a long position for 6%. Why did we enter a long instead? Well, because volume is going to be looking to test this level. Assuming we enter a long position and we break out, even better, right? Like, that's ideal for us, but we're not trying to hold for too long. We're not exactly, because at the end of the day, if this level acts as a resistance and this is just a major pullback after a continuation, the trend right now is very tricky, right? We can see that Bitcoin and Ethereum had a massive run-up opportunity, and now we're seeing a form of consolidation. What do you do in times like this? Well, this is just a period of consolidation, otherwise known as a no trading zone, and you just watch. These opportunities present themselves regardless. You guys saw, like, we literally entered the position together, exited the position together, very quick trade, very nice profit, and now we just sit and wait, right? There's going to be other opportunities in the market. Look at Cardano. Cardano on the 4 hour time frame. Look what's happening right now. We have our exponential moving averages pushing down. Look at the level that's looking to be tested down here at 30 cents, right? This is ideal for altcoins because I've mentioned this before. Altcoins will lag behind, and this was a perfect example. You'll see Cardano, you'll see XRP. Everything is consolidating at a crucial range, but we are looking to test the major support levels once again. Look at Hbar, for example. A lot of you guys love when I talk about Hbar. Hbar broke above 0.057, but this is not bullish. In the video, I mentioned the fact that our take profit level from a bullish case scenario would be right at the level where the dump started. You can see that we tested that level exactly, and then we dumped. Now that we broke below 0.06, we are looking for, what are we looking for, right? I want you guys to put in the chat. Looking at this chart right now, what would you do? Would you enter a short position, or would you guys enter a buy position? Solely looking at the 4 hour time frame and the exponential moving averages. I just want to put it in the chat. and see what you guys are thinking, just so we have an idea. I'm not sure if the stream is delayed by 30 seconds, but I would love if someone can just put in the chat. I'm not going to keep too long of waiting for an answer, but ideally, if we're looking at the 4-hour time frame, would we enter a buy here or would we enter a sell? Exactly. XC, you got it right. Perfect. We're entering a buy. Why are we entering a buy? Well, because we know that we've already broken below the exponential moving averages. Now we're looking for the retest on what? On a major resistance, on a major exponential moving average, retest, and then down. That's where a lot of traders fail. They'll look at this downtrend, they'll enter a short, right? A lot of people will, for example, enter a short right down here, and they'll be like, oh, the market moved against me. It's a scam, right? No, it's not a scam. It's you got the overall idea right, but your entry was the problem. And this is how the 4 hours are pretty much traded, is when you're trading with these 4-hour perspectives, you get a better understanding of where you can kind of place your take profit and your stop losses as well. And that's exactly what we did on Ethereum, right? We entered a buy on Ethereum at 1558 really quickly. It was a very nice long position. We entered the long. Why? Exact same situation. Look at the resistance level that was looking to get tested. Look at the 9 exponential moving average. We already had the dump. What was going to happen? We were going to go back up, retest it as resistance. We got our long, we exited, and now we're just watching. We took 6% trade, guys. That was a 30-second trade for 6%. Most traders don't even make that in a week. And that's what I always explain to you guys. There's no reason to hunt trades, overtrade. Let the market come to you. And that's exactly what we did. We just waited patiently. Unfortunately, like I said, I can't always get the perfect entries when I'm doing my live sessions because sometimes I want to wait for you guys to trade with me, right? But now in this certain situation, we're just going to watch and see what Ethereum does. And I can see the same thing about, like, even for example, a really good chart that I was looking at this morning was Doge. Look at Doge on the 4-hour time frame, right? Guys, like this wasn't a bullish move set. We literally had a massive drop, retested resistance, and now it looks like we're going to start creating a new lower low, which is exactly what we wanted on the daily time frame. So this is why I'm waiting for this level to be tested now. But am I going to be looking for a short? No. Because again, I would much rather enter the short on the resistance of the EMA and the daily and then continue. Why do I do that? Because if this move set was a fake out and we enter a long, well, then we know that we're going to be riding the trade upwards, right? If we do take profit and then it ends up breaking down below, well, again, you have multiple opportunities to be entering that short regardless. This is how I trade. This is how I send my entries. This is how I show you guys as to why I look for these entries, because these entries present themselves quite a bit. You just have to wait and patiently. Yesterday, you guys saw, I'm gonna be honest, I was watching Lord of the Rings. I looked at the chart, it was so choppy, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not sending any trades. We already made our 27% yesterday. I'm like, there's no reason to send another trade. We can see that the market was hitting between 1715 and retesting the support. What happens when we end up breaking below the exponential moving average? Why did I wait, right? Yesterday I mentioned that, hey, 9 out of 10 times when you're using the EMA as support and you retest a resistance, we have a breakout formation, right? Why didn't I send a long position? It's because, again, I was waiting for confirmation. Our confirmation would have been a wick upwards anywhere above the 1715, 1718. It would have caused a short squeeze. What did I do instead? This morning I woke up. We saw that we were testing exponential moving average. I waited for the pullback. We entered the short. We profited 27%. We closed the trade. We could have technically wrote it for 50, 60%. But remember, guys, take what's on the table and live to see another day. There's no reason why we're chasing money when we know we can make enough, right? We made an insane amount of profits this past week. Why are we chasing trades? We don't have to. Even right now, oh, you could have held it for an extra 3%. I don't care, right? We just took the trade together. I don't care about an extra 3%. When the whole ideology of our trade was, hey, we're going to exit on the 20 EMA. Look how perfectly it played out. I started the live session here. We entered here. We exited here. And now we're sitting. We're already up 6% for the day in like 30 minutes. Or not 30 minutes. I don't know how. 14 minutes, right? So that's my point. Even looking at Bitcoin right now, guess what Bitcoin's going to do? It's looking to do the exact same thing, right? We're seeing a breakout formation, but ideally, I'm not looking to, I would much rather be entering on Ethereum than entering on Bitcoin, because Bitcoin currently is in a stage of choppiness. You can see that this is the range that Bitcoin would like, and we have not tested 23.4 yet. That's what I told you guys in Telegram as well. That's the level I'm looking to buy, is at 23.4. Now, don't take it literal, because again, I would like confirmation. Why? If we end up breaking below 23.4, this BART formation is what we're looking to play. I would much rather not hold a long position on 24.3 all the way down to 20,000. That's just too much of a risk. That's why I always tell you guys, I would much rather be holding shorts in the current market. I don't care if, you know, the US banking sector is falling and Bitcoin's macro environment is amazing right now. And that's what they want you to think, right? That's what the market wants you to think. Just like everyone else that saw this breakout formation yesterday, we're going to the moon. What did I say? I told you guys, if 25.2 holds as a support, then we have our confirmation. We didn't. You can see this is a bearish formation now on the daily. We had our breakout, failed, retested as resistance. Look at the level that's of interest right now on the daily time frame. It's going to be 23.4. Why? Because this level specifically, if I can get my charting tool here, this level specifically acted as a very nice support zone. You can see that we saw multiple wick opportunities, as well as the fact that we saw multiple retests on resistance before the breakdown. This is why I'm focusing on the 23.4 level, because it's going to act as a magnet, and then we continue the run. Can you talk about why sometimes the more touches it, the more breaks, because it gets confused? Sometimes the more touches, that's a rejection. Yeah, I can definitely talk about that. So in terms of the exponential moving averages, I have a very simple rule, and I want you guys to pay attention here. The rule is, and I talked about this in the live session, and I'll show you guys a live example of Ethereum, of what we just did, right? The rule is, on the first test, so let's say, for example, we end up breaking below the 9 exponential. I'll use today's trade, for example, the 27%. We saw the break and we entered the trade. As soon as we hit the 20 exponential moving average, we closed the trade, right? What happened to Ethereum on the lower time frames? It didn't just go straight down. You can see that we actually ended up testing this level multiple times. Right? This, of course, was a very choppy range to be trading, but you'll look on the 20 and the 9, it was very choppy. Then we ended up seeing a breakout or breakdown. Sorry. So what my rule of thumb is, I always, on the first test, the very first test, I will exit the position or take my profits, if that makes sense. So for example, on Ethereum, you can see the first test on the 4-hour time frames. The first time now, we've tested the 20 as resistance. As soon as we tested, I exited. Now, the more times the level is tested, the higher chances of it breaking. Why? Because this level acts as a resistance. As soon as we break above that level, algo bots will push this and squeeze this higher. What happens to the trades? All the people that shorted at this level, they get squeezed upwards, causes the market to break out. Everyone sees different sort of patterns as well. But guess what? We've already exited the position. We don't care, right? We've already taken our profits. We're out of the trade. You saw, like, I took out 1662. Right now, Ethereum's tanking. Why am I not entering the long position? Well, look what's happening, right? You guys are seeing this live on the 1 hour or even the 4 hour if you want to. We're seeing a period of volatility. A lot of people are entering shorting positions at this level. Why would I not enter a short, though? I've taught you guys this, is always look at the higher time frame. Always look at the higher time frame. What is the higher time frame telling us right now? We've traded off the hourly, right? We entered our long based off the fact on the 4 hour because we knew the 9 was coming up. We exited on the hourly because a lot of people were looking to take profits. But looking at the 4 hour time frame right now, what do you see? You'll notice that I'll delete my little squiggly line so you guys don't get confused. But you'll notice the 9 exponential moving average is hovering. And what's going to happen when all of these short orders that we're currently loaded in right now that we just saw, what's going to happen when we retest and break above that high? It's going to squeeze, and it always squeezes. And the more you stare at the charts, the better you'll understand. That's why I always tell you guys to open up a Fair Desk account. The link is in the bio, and practice. You don't have to put money into the account. Just practice with simulated trading and try doing what I'm doing and teaching you guys, because this is the best way to learn. There's no other way to learn. I can sit here on the live session for 3 hours and teach you guys this, but the only way you're going to learn is practice, right? These were very easy trades today. Guys, this week for us has been an insane in Telegram, like over like 200% the past 2 weeks. We have yet to lose a trade because of the fact that I'm being so patient with you guys in terms of entries and exits. And you guys are seeing that the entries are literally almost perfect before we dump. And it's not luck. It's just patience, right? I'm not looking to choppy waters. I'm not entering just to enter. I'm just being patient with you guys and looking at these levels. We started the live session for a buy opportunity on Ethereum. We exited that buy immediately. And, you know, that's exactly why I say, A, be on time to live, right? I get it. But like, B, like, I try my best to wait until everyone joins before I enter a trade. But unfortunately for us, time wasn't of the side, right? I forget who was here first. I think, I'm pretty sure it was XC that joined first. But when I started the live, like, we were talking at like 1650, right? We started to push upwards. And I was like, man, this is going to look like a great buy position straight to the exponential moving average. And that's exactly what happened. Now, what happens if the 4-hour candlestick closes and we see the retest of the 9 and we come down, and this level that we currently see right now, guys, pay attention to 1658. What happens when we enter this position, right? That's bearish. Why? Because look at the levels. We tested 1658 as support, right? Multiple times. Then we broke it, and now we're retesting the same level as resistance. What does that tell you in the 4-hour time frames? That tells you that Ethereum is about to collapse, right? It's about to continue pushing on lower. We're not done testing the 1612 range. Rule of thumb, always remember, support 3 tests before buying. So you guys would enter a short on the EMA. Once the candle closes, ride it back down to 1612, take your profits. Either we break out from there, or of course, re-enter 1658, retest as rejection. On the 3rd test, we dump to 1518. That's how I trade, right? I wait patiently. Hey Jimmy, thank you. I appreciate that. Awesome. Good to hear. But yeah, like I said, I'm being very patient with you guys in terms of entries. And the reason why is, A, I don't want to see anyone get liquidated like everyone else. I showed you guys that one account that lost 1 million. I think he lost like 600 and now he's down 1 million. He actually went long on Ethereum at 1787 or 1785, I think. His entry was way up here. He went for a long position. And the whole point of this channel, guys, is so that if I'm not here, let's say something happens to me, whatever, long term, right? Just talking long term here. You guys will remember these lessons, because this is 7 years of trading in a nutshell. I have been staring at charts for a very long time, and this is the best way to learn, is practicing, guys. Practice. The 9 and the 20 exponential moving average will be your best friend long term. The 50 and the 200 is very manipulated. I would only use the 200 exponential moving average on the daily time frame to look for local bottoms or local tops. That's it. Not a bottom, not like, oh yeah, we hit the 200. This is the lowest Ethereum. I love watching those like Twitter charts of people posting those, oh, we're on the 200 EMA the last time we were on this level. This is a blah, blah, blah. No, like, dude, like, you can't just look at one indicator and trade off of that. And like, we have profited this whole way up and this whole way down and everything in between as well. Why? Look at my chart, guys. It's 4 lines, and I'm trading off 4 lines, and that's it. Support, resistance, exponential moving averages, and that's it. It's really simple. It really is that simple. It's just practicing and knowing when to enter and exit is a whole different side of things. Jimmy, that's awesome to hear. 3 trades without losses. And I remember, Jimmy, I know you were new to the channel and you mentioned that you lost 7K. And honestly, I'm so happy to see that, you're profiting, at least in terms of what I'm teaching you. Like that to me, I'm doing my job as a teacher for you guys, right? So many people message me and say, hey, I've profited this much. And again, guys, I'm not a signal provider. I'm not selling you a premium program. I don't even have a premium program. But the point is, if you guys are succeeding in your trading by yourself, that means I'm doing something. And that's my whole point of this, is you guys are learning stuff from me. We can enter, you guys see, I enter trades with you guys. We exit, we make money, we're all happy. But when you guys are trading on your own, and then you send me those trades of some insane profits, that makes me so happy, because I know you guys are learning at that point. You know what I mean? Why not open a long on 1612 if it goes there? XC, it hit 1612, and that was a great buying opportunity, right? A lot of traders were waiting for that level. Even in Telegram, I mentioned 1612 would be the long, right? This is the area of interest that I'm looking for a possible buy opportunity. I had another trader, he's over on Twitter, and he's like, hey, what level are you looking at for a Bitcoin long? And I was like, off the 20 EMA would be ideal, scalp it, and then look for a long. The reason why we didn't enter along, I mentioned we made 27% today, plus the 6% we just made on the live. I don't want to overtrade. I don't want to keep hunting trades, right? Technically speaking, we shorted the move down to 1612, right? We exited right around, we entered at 1680, we exited at 1658. That was our trade. That was a great $30 drop. Yeah, we could have held it for the whole drop, but we don't like guessing, right? That's the whole thing, is take what's on the table. Technically speaking, you could have entered on 1612 and rode it upwards, but if you already made 27%, at that point, it's just kind of like greedy, right? Because let's say you entered at 1612 and then the market dropped. What would you have done? You would have A, lost all your losses that you made from the short, B, you lost the counter trading, and C, you would have revenge traded, right? Trying to make up the original 27%. So that's why I never do it. I always just take one good trade, call it a day. Just for the live purpose, I took another one today for you guys, but I would never do it again, right? Like when well, at least when I'm trading on Telegram, I would never take two for you guys. Very rarely I'll take two trades or I'll send two trades. Very rarely. Yeah, AP, if you want, like I said, on Fairdesk, you just go over here, click on USD futures, and right here, simulated trading, trade with zero risk. So just click on that and then try it out. Everyone should be doing that. And if you guys are that lazy, I get it. If you don't even want to open an account, that's fine. Go on TradingView and just practice, right? But it's different when you're simulated trading because A, it accounts for slippage, B, it accounts for live market data, and C, you'll see the mistakes you made and which entries to get at, right? It'll teach you guys how to become better traders. You're not going to learn just staring at one chart all day, right? It's just not how you're going to learn. The biggest lesson I have had in my life in terms of trading was, at the end of the day, the more you lose, the better you get because you don't make the same mistakes again, right? Every trader has losses. It's what you learn from it at the end of the day is what makes you a better trader. I'm not perfect. I'm really not. You guys have seen, like, I'm not, like, okay, it's hard to say because I do take losses, but it may seem it's rare, if that makes sense. Because if you go through all the Telegram, you'll only see every single trade I've called was profitable. But I do take losses, though. I do want to understand, because a lot of you guys are like, oh, you're a 100% trader. I'm not 100%, right? No one's 100%. Everyone takes losses, but it's what you learn from it. And that's why I send only limited trades. The only trades I'll ever send in Telegram are probably the best ones that I think that everyone's going to make money off of. And sometimes people have an hour to get into the trade, and sometimes people have 10 minutes to get into a trade. But at the end of the day, I'm not a signal provider, right? You guys aren't paying me to send trades. And I don't want to be a signal provider. I'm just a guy that just likes trading. So, yeah, Jimmy, I can do Cardano for you for sure. I've been doing it on BingX. Hey, XC, yeah, they've actually, funny enough, you say that. BingX actually reached out to me for a partnership, but I don't know. I personally didn't like their UI and stuff. That's why I prefer Fairdesk. And like the thing about Fairdesk is even my, anyone that's part of my subscription, like, or rather like subscribe to the channel and they use my link, you save a lot on fees. And that's the whole point, is you guys will notice I'm a scalping trader and a 4-hour intraday trader. I don't like paying a lot of commission fees to brokers, and Fairdesk has a really nice fee structure for our subs, right? Which is the only reason why I'm on Fairdesk. And their desktop, like I said, their desktop app is pretty, like, it's a lot better than their mobile app, but it does the job, right? The whole point is leverage trading. You do your job, that's it, you move on. Yeah, let's look at Cardano real quick. I just talked about this, but look at this, right? Like, we literally just talked about Cardano. Cardano is at a state where I would be waiting until we get the retest on these EMA lines and then enter a shorting position. It looks juicy. I know you guys are looking at this and saying like, yeah, that looks so good to 30 cents. But again, best lesson to you guys is mostly with Cardano, you don't want to get caught out on the wrong move, because you'll notice that these candlesticks are a lot larger with altcoins. So just be patient, right? And you guys will see, it's a perfect example of the trade we took and why we took our profits. Look what's happening to Ethereum now, right? We entered and exited. Look how clean that is, guys. From a one, like even just the hourly perspective, look, we took our profits together right there on the yellow line. That's where we exited the trade. And look what happened now. This is why I say to you guys, it's basically back at entry, right? We entered right at this level. And now, actually, this is a perfect example of your question. Why wouldn't you enter again? Because that doesn't look good to me to enter. We already got the original test of the 20 EMA, and now it's just a period of waiting. If assuming it breaks up again, then that's a buy, but look what's happening, right? Like this thing is crashing now. Same with Bitcoin. We just retested the 20 EMA, the 9 EMA. It's not looking too hot. So that's the purpose of why I entered the trade in the beginning. Is 20x the margin you mostly trade in? No, not necessarily. I usually do, like I said, anywhere from 10 to 20x. But keep in mind my sizes and my risk tolerance is a lot higher. But I have taught everyone in this channel 7x. If you're really feeling it, 10x. But yo, you guys better have the craziest stop losses placed, because as a beginner, you don't want to be using high leverage. Never use high leverage as a beginner. Some of you guys send me 50x and it's questionable, because I'm looking at your trade and I'm like, that's a great entry, that's a great profit, but dude, what are you doing 50x? Like, I've never, guys, in 7 years of my life, the most I've ever done was 25x. Okay, I lied. I'm not talking about the liquidation Thursdays. We're not talking about that. That doesn't count, okay? So it reminds me, actually, tomorrow is Thursday, and you guys already know I'm gonna do another poll in the morning. And if you guys get it wrong this time again, I'm gonna be swinging, because you know I asked you guys last time which way we going, and you guys were like short. To be fair though, it was a great short. Bitcoin did collapse, and I want to talk about it, and you guys can see how frustrating it was for me, because we entered a short on Bitcoin. I believe I asked you guys right here. Yeah, okay, so this was a trade. I entered on Bitcoin right at this level, on this yellow line. We actually got stop hunted to 24K, and then Bitcoin collapsed. So if assuming we got the perfect entry, man, that would have been an insane trade. But it's okay, it didn't happen. It is what it is. Yeah, Jimmy, you got to be careful about 80x leverage. It's not, I would never suggest 80x. The reason why I do 125x on Thursdays, just with the 120 bucks, is because, you know, it's like, A, it's fun to watch. I know you guys enjoy watching me get liquidated. And B, it's just like something that I would not recommend, but just something when you've been trading for so long. I know traders that specifically only look for 125x trades. And what I mean by that is they will only look for these sort of candlesticks, like these algo candlesticks where it continue pushing on higher. They'll literally wait for the 9 EMA to hit, then they'll enter 125x long. And if they ever catch it, they make an insane amount of money, right? But that's what I'm saying. So I know traders like that as well. I personally don't like that, because you can take 10 trades and then be right on the 11th to make it all back. But to me, that's just like you're gambling. You're not really trading at that point. That's just my input. But that's ideal. Why not take longer trade on the 4 hour from 1658 to the moving average at 1640? That's a great question. You can technically do that, but again, my whole point of the purpose of teaching was the first entry is where you exit, and then you just sit and wait. You can, guys, these are hypothetical questions where you can do stuff, but in my years of trading, I have learned to just do it the first time in terms of the exponential moving averages, and then move on from the trade. Because if you do it the second time and the third time, you might end up getting caught on the wrong side and getting absolutely wrecked. Because you guys got to understand, when these EMA lines break, it's a big move. It's never going to be a small move. So, hi from Denmark. Hey, Dizzy. Happy birthday to you, man. I hope you do enjoy your birthday. Yeah, no, 80x is just wild leverage, guys. Wild. But do you guys have any charts you guys want me to kind of go over for you? I did Cardano. I did Doge. I did a little bit of Hbar. You always mention emotion, and that's so true. It's easy to get greedy. That's like the biggest thing for me, guys. This is something that I feel like over the next few months, for those of you that are in the Telegram, and as well as those of you that watch my YouTube, or at least my live sessions, it's a little harder to, I feel like I can't really teach on a YouTube video because people don't care. They just want to know their analysis and move on with their day, right? But at least for Telegram and YouTube, when I'm teaching you guys, my biggest lesson, my next biggest lesson rather, is not going to be of technical analysis. It's actually going to be of emotion and psychological of like the trading aspect of it, because that's something everyone struggles with. And what I mean by that is emotion, revenge trading, over trading, holding a trade too long, not taking profits, that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm going to go over. And that's not something I can teach overnight, right? So it's going to be a few month plan, but I do have a good plan for you guys. And again, it's all free. I'm not charging. I'm not making a course. Don't worry. It's literally just going to be a free lesson. Just multiple lessons of it. It's all free though. Let's see. What's your general outlook on the market in the next couple of days and heading into the weekend? So that's a great question. Ideally, I'm pretty bearish as of right now because scenario A is looking to play out literally perfectly. Scenario A, once again, look at Ethereum. We hit the 1421 level, right? We saw the same exact dump, 1717. Saw the exact same dump down to 1421. Now, of course, to be fair, this price action was a lot healthier than what we saw like the past 3 days because this one is straight up. This one was very nice, right? Consolidating. But the problem is we hit 1787 and now we're in this stage of the market right down here from the bearish perspective, right? We hit 1612. We're rejecting off 1658. It's not looking too high. So if we end up breaking 1612, then I would be flipping very bearish extremely fast because that would mean, because guys, just look, there's just so many situations of every time we ended up breaking 1518, we got absolutely wrecked. And yo, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't know if you guys see this as well, but this is the nastiest BART that's being made on the 4-hour time frame. And if it completes on Ethereum, holy, this is going to trap a lot of traders, right? And this is the problem with BART formations is it take a very large time to play out. And I can give you guys a perfect example of a BART formation, right? And I actually show you guys on Bitcoin because we saw the same sort of BART formation here. This is when I was trading by myself. I didn't have a YouTube channel, but look at the BART formation here. We saw the same exact BART formation, right? Started from here, saw the pullback, then we started ranging. And then the BART, and like guys, look at this drop. Like this was, I remember this day. This was not the FTX trade, right? This is not the FTX drop. This was literally just technical analysis. We broke the daily support, and in one 4-hour candle, Bitcoin dropped. I remember it was during Asia hours. I went to bed, and I was like, yeah, I took a short. I closed my short, right? So I entered my short here on Bitcoin here at 23.2 or 20 whatever 23.4. Exited at 22.8 because again, I'm a support trader, right? I don't ever short into support. I closed it and then I went to sleep and I woke up in the midnight and Bitcoin was trading at 20,000. And I was like, what just happened? And I looked at the chart and the BART formation completed. And in one 4-hour candlestick, we went from 22 down to 20 and it didn't stop there. It just kept going. We dropped to 18. Everyone became super bearish. We got the short squeeze. And then this was the FTX drop, right? From 20 down to 15. And then we saw the W formation play out. Very nice buy opportunity. But like even looking at this chart right now, it looks like it's an uptrend. But zooming out completely, I mean, we're just consolidating. It's not anything, right? Every 5%, 8% of Bitcoin doesn't mean it's a bull run. It's just like zoom out. Like look at zoom out, you know? So I see both perspectives. But market analysis, I'm bearish right now. Even with the current pump in the market. I mentioned to you guys, the only time I would switch to bullish was if somehow Bitcoin got above 25.2 and actually used it as support. Only then I would be looking for a massive buy or long opportunity into the 29.2 level on the daily time frame. But yeah, so is waiting for mid-8s on SHIB a good entry? Yo, that's a great question. Because I literally talked about this with one of my whale friends today. And, you know, we've been trading together for a very long time. And I'm like, bro, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, if Shiba ever hits around 8 or 7 again, I think I'm going to be a buyer. And whether you believe it or not, guys, like, meme coins, regardless of which meme coin, will have a purpose. And I don't mean like, you know, dog, like all these dog coins. But I mean like Shiba, Doge, like these two specifically will always have a purpose in the bull market. So you can make a lot of money off these based off retail investments. Because guess what happens, guys? Let me explain to you emotionally or like from a psychological standpoint as a trader. Let's say you're a trader, you know nothing about crypto, okay? And you all of a sudden, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but when we're in a bull run, all of a sudden, all of these like companies with news articles start posting about crypto. And then Doge, Elon, right? Doge, I mean, Elon talks about Doge. Doge flies. Like, I've never seen anything like it. Just flies. The whole general public are like, oh yeah, Dogecoin. How do I buy Doge? How do I buy Doge, right? The retail investors will want to start buying into Doge. They don't understand crypto. But because Elon has it and he's the richest guy, they want some too. What happened with Shiba? Shiba was the Doge killer, right? all these same thing happened. We had a period of consolidation, and then we ripped in the bull run, right? And we can see from all the way down here to 62 all the way up to around 85. I don't even know what that is. That's like, I think I don't know, like that's too many numbers for me, but I'm assuming that's like 100x or even like 50x, I would assume. And guys, that's a meme coin, right? In a bull run, it's gonna have its purpose. Every meme coin, I've been to 2 bear markets. There's always a time where meme coins will have a moment, and it starts with Doge, and I do believe that the next one will start with Shiba or one of these dog coins, and it's gonna be a nice rally. So if we ever do enter the same range, even from a support aspect of it, like there's a lot of support down here. And guys, keep in mind, this is when Bitcoin was at 15,000. There's a ton of support at this level, right? But if we do see capitulation, like this would be, I guess, one of my like high risk, high plays. If I ever did that, it would be with Shiba. That was probably the only coin I would do it with, because Shiba is one of those coins that has enough retail investors that believe in it and enough news articles that talk about it. And that's the best of both worlds for you guys. BART might retest 1200. Yeah, Chris, if we complete this BART on Ethereum, the $1,200 range would be the level once again, right? And that's what worries me, is if we, and that's what worries me, right? Is if we do end up retesting the $1,200 range, and we're not too far from that 1,000, and anything below 1,000, you guys already know, it's straight up capitulation. Those coins made people millionaires overnight. You always hear that story, right? The Dogecoin millionaire, the guy who forgot about his Doge and bought like $1,000 worth of. Very rare, guys. Like, come on, let's be real. Like, any sort of investor or a retail dude, like if he makes 10x on his investment, he's gonna start closing those trades, right? You got to be some sort of like crazy dude to be holding on to a bag of a dog coin for long term because you really believe in the utility. Like, come on, let's be real. You know what I mean? Like. So at that point, I would be very cautious long term. But again, if you have like 5% or 10% of your actual money or investment in a portfolio, and you feel like gambling, then that's not a bad bet. Again, like this is just my advice in long term, right? Long term keyword of these meme coins will always have a purpose. The question is finding those meme coins, right? But that's a whole different side of things, which I don't really feel like getting into. I'm not going to sit here and talk about which dog coin has better utility than the other dog coin, right? I don't care. But mostly for altcoins, we specifically look this whole market, this whole range, guys. I've only been trading Bitcoin and Ethereum. You guys know that. Every now and then I'll send a Cardano trade, but it's usually a short. And the reason why is because with Bitcoin dominance so high, there's a lot more potential to be made compared to altcoins right now, right? Altcoins will have a time, but we just have to look at the Bitcoin dominance chart and you'll understand when that time comes. Let's talk about Sand though. Damn. Sand hit perfectly on our support levels. I think from not the last live session, but the session before that, we talked about Sand, and I mentioned that I didn't change these lines. You guys can go back. These lines have stayed, right? And this is why I feel like practicing your support and resistance is so important, because look how beautifully that trade played out. We shorted someone, I believe someone from my Telegram shorted from 71, asked me for take profit, and I said 52 if you're swinging, and it swung a lot, right? That's an insane trade. Even now, like, we're still pretty bearish. It looks like it could actually go and retest the lower low again, but everything right now in terms of altcoins is pretty bad. It's not looking too hot. Yeah. Jimmy, I'm not sure what you said there. Just, I don't know, for some reason it said the message restricted. But yeah. But yeah. But yeah, if you guys have any other coins that you want me to analyze real quick, let me know. We're pushing, I believe, like 10 more minutes, and I'm going to call it, because again, 55 minutes. Nobody wants to sit here for 2 hours to watch this stuff. We already entered our trade. But hey, let's look at Ethereum real quick again. I just want to quickly show you guys what's happening on Ethereum. So XC, you asked me this question, and I guess this is, again, that same perspective, right? We hit the trade for the buy, we scalped it, we exited. Why didn't we hold it? Because we're not trying to gamble. This is a perfect example of gambling, right? If we ended up holding our trade, our long opportunity, we would now be underwater and be in a huge loss. Could we have shorted on the touch as well? Yes, we could have. We could have made money going up. We could have made money going down. But again, I've always explained to you guys, the breakout range is what we have to be careful about on the breakout. So the next 4-hour candlestick that forms, this exponential moving average is going to push down. That test has already occurred at that point, and then a lot of traders are going to be looking for shorting opportunities. Why? Old support becomes new resistance, and that's what we're looking for right now on Ethereum. So it's very bearish. I would be very careful about this range for you guys. Just got here. What was the trade you entered? I entered a buy position on Ethereum at 16, I believe 1653 or 1655. We started the live session. I was a little late on the entry because I was talking, but if you go back to the live, you'll see what I'm saying. But we entered. I mentioned the fact that it's going to be looking to retest 20 exponential moving average. We exited on the trade at this yellow line, 1663.80, I think, right around that level. Exited the trade, and then we sat on it. It was a 6% trade. It was a very quick scalp. I think it lasted maybe a minute, but it was a very clean trade. And then I kind of just went over talking about why we did it and just gave examples of it. But yeah, it's all recorded. Don't worry, even if you missed it, you can watch it after. I've seen the ADO on the 5th wave downtrend. Yeah, I mean, you know the thing about waves and Elliott wave patterns and stuff. Like I've always keep in mind, like I've been trading for a very long time, and I've been very interested in learning Elliott wave patterns. But man, I feel like everyone trades off Elliott wave patterns, and everyone sees the fun part of trading is everyone will see something different. And I think that's where like the egos come in, and the I was right, you were wrong, you're an idiot. Like, that's where it truly comes in. But to me, like, I don't ever compare myself to any other trader. Like, I just do my thing, right? And my whole goal purpose is, again, like, if you guys are making money off me and you're learning, then I'm doing my job. I don't sit there and be like, we got a 97.6% ratio on Telegram. Make sure, I'm not that guy. Like, I'll post about the Telegram on Twitter here and there to obviously grow the community, but I'm not really, looking for specific numbers for people. But when it comes down to yourself as a trader, I feel like having an ego is probably going to hurt you in the long term, because then if you do end up losing a trade, you'll always be like, no, I'm right. I'm always right. I'm always right. And then you'll end up getting wrecked. So you got to be very careful. What's the name of the book that you said? Oh yeah, I'll post it in the chat again for you. There is a PDF of it. You don't have to pay for it. 1 second. I'll post it for you guys. It's a great book. I would suggest a lot of you guys to look into it. I've actually learned quite a bit from it. This is back when I was trading. It is called Steve Nissen or Nissen. I don't know how to say his last name. Japanese Candlesticks. It's a yellow book. It's amazing for beginners. Just look into it. There's PDFs online of it. You don't have to pay for it. I think it's $100 on Amazon. Screw that. But you can find it on online. But yeah, I got you. No problem. Yeah, that's a great book to read, guys, if you guys are beginners trading technical analysis. But, the only reason I started the live today was because I'm going on vacation on Friday. I'm not going to have access to my main desktop. I also have access to my, YouTube content and all that. That's not a problem, but I can't do live sessions, right? So I just wanted to make sure one more time. This week we did 4 sessions, I think, which was great. Ideally, I don't have a schedule on these, so I'm not going to have a schedule for those asking. But, it's something that you guys can learn. And of course, once again, guys, I can't stress this enough for the 25 people that are in here watching. Please just look into opening a Fairdesk account and at least doing the demo trading aspect of it. Just please start practicing. I am here for you. I am always available for you guys. Hit me up on Twitter. You got a trade you're in. You need help. You have questions. Hit me up on Twitter. You can reach out to me, and I will do my best getting back to you within 24 hours or at least 12 hours, I would say, because I do check my Twitter quite a bit. But yeah, something to keep in mind, right, when you guys are trading. But I must say again that you are very underrated. Yeah, no problem, Jimmy. Thank you guys so much for coming. I hope you guys learned something from today's session. What's the NFT stuff you post on Twitter? Oh, Chris, yeah, I just do NFT stuff here and there. You can ignore that completely. I'm not a, it's funny because I'm not a technical analysis charter on Twitter. Because I feel like Twitter is really ego special when it comes down to technical analysis, right? I just do NFT stuff. I just join communities or those giveaways. You can ignore it. Don't ever do anything that I'm doing on NFT stuff. And I've warned you guys about this before. Just Twitter should only be used for me as a messaging tool. Only message me. Don't look at my tweets. All right. That's all. I'll just say like that. But yeah, that's just my thing. All right, guys. You guys have a wonderful day. I'm gonna head out. Enjoy. Thank you for I will enjoy the vacation. But hey, tomorrow's Liquidation Thursday, guys. Remember, tomorrow morning I'm gonna be sending a poll, and if you guys get it wrong, we're gonna fight because we've been wrong like 10 times in a row. I literally think I've been liquidated 10 times in a row on $100 leverage, or sorry, $100 margin, but it's okay. One of these Thursdays, we're going to get it right. I believe in us. I believe in all 360 of us in Telegram. We're going to get it right one day. But all right, guys, thank you for coming. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and enjoy.